All right, what do we got to do here? Oh, yeah. Chat here. Think put it over here. All right. Let's see what's the enders look like. Probably can't tell. Can't tell. All right. Nothing overly dark. $79. 77. Eight. E3B. Seven. $75. A bad looking 05. I don't see any spear buffalo. One. 70 Denver. Six. Tens. I don't think 10's supposed to be a little bit. Is that a 10 Denver? No. And 79. 86. Oh, 06. $23. Was an ender at one point. What is this? 16. Seen better days. 64 Philly. And down to the end. $49. Second to last coin. We get the hit in the roll. $49. What are we looking for in a 49? The D is 36,000. The Philly's 60. There's a D over S, but we'll have to check that later. And that's an S, actually. Is that an S? That is an S. Holy moly. That's 9,000 or 9 million. I don't even have the scope on. $9 million. Hey, investable. So definitely a 49. And most definitely a 9 million minted S. 9,716,000. That's a cool hit. Second to last coin of the roll. That's crazy. Investable. I topped up my gain a little bit on my microphone. Am I a little bit louder than last time? And not too loud? I know you said audio and video is all good, so. Crazy good hit out of the first roll. 49S. I don't even know if I have a 49S. I'm going to check my Excel sheet quick. I might not even have a 49S in the collection. Nope, it says I have one. So I must have gotten one at some point from somewhere. Good louder or too loud? Because I can bring the gain down a little bit too. I just noticed on like playback from the last time I went live that my mic seemed like it could be a little bit louder. And nothing looking extremely dark or green. So try to go 2 for 2 on the nickels. Volume gain is good. Okay, perfect. It's not too loud when I drop the coin in the bucket there, is it? I got a little plastic containers that I drop the coin in now, so I don't end up with a big pile on my desk at the end of the hunt. And I know it is actually, I know it's picking up that drop sound now. Yeah, I just, like I said, I switched microphones, and then I realized on listening to the playback that I was a little lower than I kind of wanted it to be, and so I bumped up the gain some, but it's all good. Okay, it's not overwhelming then. Actually makes the quality a little bit better. Old casino payouts. Okay, well then I guess that's not too bad. It's kind of cool. More D&D. So we got some. I got some cool stuff to go through tonight. Um, I think I have a original bankroll of uncirculated, probably high MS 2000 Ps, so a whole roll to essentially go under the scope looking for the Wounded Eagle and the Cheerios. I got like 8 rolls of those, like $200 worth, and some of them I got actually look like they're original mint rolls. I almost feel like I shouldn't crack some of them, but 25. But how do you not crack those rolls and look for the Wounded Eagle, you know? Because if you find one, you probably have one in MS condition. Or the Cheerios. The Cheerio dollar is probably less findable, but like if you found there's a kind of a decent looking 25, a little bit of chatter there. Probably not keeping it unless there ends up a die chip. But how do you not, look through a roll like that? Because if you saved it and sold it, you're just selling it to somebody else that's going to do it. Yeah, die chip, no. This one looks like it might be a little older. Nope, just an 89. Had a little old look to it. 81. I think I can get a little bit closer with the coin, actually. Two. $64, probably Denver. 99. So what have you been up to, Investable? Anything fun? 48. There's our hit for roll 2. 48. We are hoping for, well, the S is 11 million. Otherwise, we are at 44 million for the D and 89 million for the Philadelphia. Highly unlikely we hit another low mintage San Francisco. Nope, it is the Philadelphia at 89. Still under 100 though. And we're 2 for 2 on the nickel rolls for the night, so that's good. $58. 2-hit roll. 58. Definitely looking for the Philadelphia here. Nope, it is the Denver. That's over 100 million. But a two-hit roll. Buying blue Ikes like no tomorrow. up to 6 now with 21 Ikes total. I just cracked a couple blue Ikes out of the cellophane. Probably, I don't know, I probably cracked 4 or 5 of them, I'm guessing, out of the cellophane. Just threw them in my silver box. 25, a little too much circulation to save. 92. 84. Right about there. Looks like it's the focus right for the camera. 75. Kind of a nice looking 75. '18. 18s have a lot of die chips on them. More so the Phillies, but a lot of beehive side of the Monticello die chips on 18s. You can find those like no tomorrow half the time. Yeah, Ikes are something I don't have a whole ton of. I do have a couple. D. And an 80, looks like a Philly. All right, so 2 hits out of that. 48 and the, or was it the 48? Forget what that one was. Last nickel roll. Then we'll do 2 quarter rolls and $2 rolls. By that time my coffee will probably be out. I got a couple whatnot packages to open tonight. Look at what I found investable at the local shop. I'm like, how did you come across that? He's like, I don't know. We just ended up coming across it. 2012. Dark Ascension. So we're going to pull up Scryfall later. Crack those open. As long as the stream quality holds for the evening. Never quite get it perfect there. Don't look like there's any dark. That dark one right there maybe. Could be old, but don't look like there's any green. Now let's see if we go 3 for 3 on the nickel rolls. 3 for 3 on the nickel rolls. $64 is not a bad start. To make sure my scope wasn't dying on me. Looking 17. This looks like an older one. Just an 87. Something looked goofy there as I was looking at it, but probably was just the light. 79. 77. No, we're halfway through. Don't look like we're kind of a lustery 21D. Still got some shine to that one. Might set that one aside and it might be, that one might be saved. 94. 99. 80. 796. Yeah, 96. An 80 D. 80 D. That's 7. 90. I don't know, we might skunk this one. A mushy strike 77. From the looks of things. 90. 86D, kind of a semi-decent looking. Another lustery 23, but not gonna save that one. 85. 22. 83. Not in real great shape though. 62. 62D. I don't think I got a lot of 62s just in the collection. There really is no reason in keeping it. 23. Yeah, this one's going to be, we are going to end up 77 and an 87. So we do skunk out on that roll. 2 for 3. Two for 3 on the nickel rolls. Let's see what we can scrounge up in quarters. What are our enders? Let's see, is it going to focus? The 99. And we don't know on the other one. Business strike San Francisco would be nice. I've only hit one of those. Oop. Lost the first 2 enders. don't see anything that doesn't look like there's some copper in there. But we will definitely be able to look for some die chips if we hit the right years. Definitely not on the hat up there. That is a D, so not really, no reason to really look at that. 96. Kind of a little bit better looking, I don't know. I gotta get my scope right here. I don't know if I come in closer or... There, I almost pushed it off the table. It doesn't quite want to focus for the... Let's see. Let me play with the video configuration here. We're going to play with the video configuration for a second. If I can get to it. Where is... There we go. Now I have to see if this focusing will focus. Oh, look at that. We almost got a pretty decent focus on it. That don't look bad. It's maybe not great. If I do this, if I pull that all the way to there, and then, yeah, that is not going to work. Let's try. Guess that's not too bad. We'll leave her there for tonight. Because that looks alright, I guess. We can kind of see what we're looking at now anyways. Alright. Back to the roll. Connecticut. One. Let's see anything that stands out there. Look quick. Nothing. Nothing. 2008 Hawaii. Denver. 1990. Denver 15. Denver 20. Let's see how close can I get to this. Now, kind of focus. 2001. 2024, we can check for doubling, or I don't see any on the star. That one looks pretty decent. That one looks pretty decent. And 6. Another 20. An older one, 92. Philly. 02. Denver 02. 23. I don't think I see no dye chip in the hair. Looks pretty normal. 67. Four. 13. Perry's Victory. Oof. That is a Denver 19. 5. 2022. Oh, we can look at extra material in the claws. I don't see it there. Definitely do not. 98. Four, 13. Definitely no blind bat in there. 95. 88. 2023. That was an ender at some point. 19, we can check. Let's check the tower quick. And the tower looks normal. No die chips in her hair or anything. And I think that one passes with no die chips. $94. One, and I think we're skunking on this roll. $20 and a Denver. Helen Keller 03. So yeah, we will skunk that roll. All right. Quarter roll number 2. We are going to, I don't know, that one's a little shiny to get in there, but it's going to be in an Idaho 07 and a, what is that? Hard to tell there. Camera, tell us. Oh, there's an 09 right on the end. So we know that's a hit. We'll give that the hit right there. 09 Virgin Islands. We know that's coming. Out of the roll. Like we are got anything that doesn't look copper clad. I don't think so. Definitely nothing that stands out. So we knew we were getting this one. The Denver 09. We already gave it a hit. We get one more. So that's at least decent to get one out of the 2 quarter rolls. Denver 14. 94, kind of a nicer looking 94. It hasn't seen a whole lot of circulation. Breast feathers are still there, pretty decently actually. Not a bad 94. We ain't going to call it a hit, but we're probably hanging on to it. Hey, a Guam. 09s are always a hit. That's the second 09 out of the roll. Unfortunately, it's got whatever on it. That might clean up, though. Possibly. We will put that in the hit roll. Oh, 04. I do not see a extra leaf there, that's for sure, but I'll always give it the look. Denver 21. Doesn't look like there's any die chip up in his hat. '24 Cecilia. '88. For Michigan. Another Cecilia. 77. Gunk on it. No blind bat. 79, that's seen better days. We got a really nice chunk out of it there. Took a pretty good hit of something there. '24 Hope. '22 May Wong. Let's look at the letters quick there. I don't see any die chip there. I think we're pretty normal there. '2000 Hampshire. Denver, Delaware. I don't believe that's got a spitting horse. I think it's only on Philadelphia, to tell you the truth. Another 2000. 96. And 89. Another cruise. 71, Denver. 23, I don't see a die chip in her hairpiece. And no blind bat there. $19. 123. $21. I don't see a die chip anywhere there. 20 Denver. 25. Ida B. Wells. A lot of 2020s for some reason. A lot of 2000s too, seemed like. 2006 Chimney Rock, Nebraska. Now we got two. That's seen some wear. And a Denver 07, one we saw in the end. So that 2009 quarters out of that. All right. I think this is going to be a whole customer rolled Susan B. Anthony. Nope. That looks like a presidential on that end. So I was wrong right from the start. And that looks like a Sacagawea, so let's see what we get. The customer roll, so I'm assuming they ain't going to mix any Susan B's in here. Nope. As expected. As expected. As expected. 2000 NP. Might as well always check it. Might as well always check it. I don't see it. $2,000D. John Adams. Just make sure it's there. James Monroe. Make sure it's there. I think is it only the Washington, I think, that might actually have missing edge lettering. Check this. Nope. Nope, nope. Yeah, another one. Well, let's just set that one aside and we will check it. We'll check all the 2000 Phillies at once rather than popping back and forth. This might be a significant roll of 2000 Phillies, but not uncirculated like this one might be. I think this is an uncirculated one. That is a Denver. So we don't need to look at that one. Look at that one. 2005D. It's in 2005 NIFC. Monroe. Just to make sure. Yeah, it's there. I don't think the missing lettering is on anything other than a George Washington, to tell you the truth. What was that? Focus, that was a D. 2000 P, that's a better shape one. We're looking at that one quick. Thomas Jefferson, nothing standing out. Another Thomas Jefferson. Polk. I'm not even paying attention to what mints they're coming out of. There's another 2000 Philly. Check that one. There's another one. We're going to have a handful here to run under the scope. 2000 Philly. Probably could just tell from through this camera. But always fun to put it under the scope. See if something else stands out. John Adams, seen better days. Another Philly we'll throw under the scope quick. Another one. Unless there's a reason to keep any of these. These will be going back to my dump bank. Alright. Let's do a quick scoping. Let's do a quick scoping of these. Although I think you could see it with your naked eye if it was there. No. Definitely nothing there. I don't see anything there. Got some tail strike, but not what we're looking for. Nothing there. I'll have to check these later for die chips or anything else somewhere else. Won't do it now. No. 4 more. See anything that looks remotely close there. Not there. 2 more and then the uncirculated roll. Well, this one would be nice if it would have been, huh? That was a little better shape. One more. Sitting here talking to myself. Yeah, definitely not. All right. So none of those were. All right, so like I was saying, I think this is a uncirculated mint roll of probably all 22,000 Phillies. The roll doesn't say Philly, but 2 enders do. So we are going to crack it and see if that's what it is. And if that's what it is, then you've got an opportunity. Some of these are going to be saved if they're in really good shape. So I'm guessing they don't look like they're in bad shape. This might be uncirculated 2000 Phillies. And I think I got a couple rolls of these actually. Let's take a close look. Yeah, I think so. I believe so. So every single one of these is going to have to hit the scope to some extent. Yeah, these are nice looking coins. That is definitely not seen circulation, and I don't like keeping Sacagaweas, but some of these are probably going to be kept. So this was the ender. So probably not going to be as nice as some of the other. Yeah, these are all beautiful. These are all very nice. I mean, they're going to have some. They're going to, I mean, look at that. Look at that. The enders are probably going to be the worst too, but, and I think I got 4 rolls of these. I mean, imagine finding the Spirit Eagle in one of these. This is going to be a fun hunt as we go through these couple rolls. I'm not going to do them all tonight, but definitely going to, over the time of hunting. I mean, look at the eagle on that. I mean, I'm not a big Sacagawea fan, but one of these might end up, or a couple of them might end up being graded. Because I ran myself into several rolls of mint issue uncirculated Sacagawea 2000 Phillies. I'm almost amazed. I'm not a fan of the coin, but it's like, how do you turn these back? How do you turn these back into the bank? You know, I don't think I'm going to bring any of these back to my dump bank. This one's not as nice. This one's got spotting, but that first one was beautiful. Or that second one. So this one's got the water spotting. But I think most of them, unless most of them end up with the water spotting. I mean, I think there might be some water spotting on that one. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see up here. There's a spot right there, and there's a spot right there. Maybe I only keep a handful of these, and yeah, see, moisture spotting on that one. I mean, if you find the Spirit Eagle, though, I mean, so we got 25 coins to look at here. That one looks awfully nice. I'm going to set the couple of the better ones aside. I'm going to make a good pile and a kind of, I guess, a spotted pile. See, this one's got spotting, but not not to the point of some of them. And really, is there as much spot? Yeah, there's spotting on the back too. I'm gonna have to remember to stinking look at the eagles on these. I mean, I'll take a speared eagle even on a spotted coin. I don't care. Because even with the spotting, they're gonna, if you were to grade them, they're still high grade. I mean, the spotting's not killing them. This one, so if the spotting doesn't stand out in this camera, then I'm guessing we probably got one that isn't going to have a lot of spotting on it. Yeah, see, this is to me, this is a set aside. No speared. But this, well, the obverse is got spotting. I don't know if that's like, they call that moisture spotting or what. Yeah, this whole roll is gonna be this right here. That's what this whole roll is gonna be. So let's just make this fast. I'm not going to look at everyone like in this view, but we're gonna spin the eagle under every. We're gonna spin the eagle under the scope of everyone, just quick, just to make sure we don't end up with a speared eagle. We're gonna do that quick, and that'll tell me if this, quick look. You can see this one's got some spotting, but there is no speared. That one's got damage on it. But that is not the spear we're looking for. Here's a nicer looking one. Hardly any spotting on the reverse. And really, I don't see any contact damage on this one. Look at that eagle's head, just still all there. Eye and pupil still there. All right, let's see what if we get one like this, we'll look at both sides just to see. Oh, yeah. Not a single spot on this one. All right, so that is another just flat out stays in the collection. Little bit of spotting on the reverse, but not bad on the obverse. That's a mid-tier one for me, as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of spotting. As far as I know, that is from like the wash after being minted. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've heard people that know more than me talk about the fact that they do go through like a rinse or a wash or something, and like that's the spots from it essentially dried. I could be totally wrong. Ooh, that came close, but that's the wrong one. That is the wrong type of damage. Spotting's not bad on the reverse of this one. Minus that little bit of a gouge that it took. Look at the fields. The fields they're flawless for the most part. And I think that one that's a save. I just don't want to save too many of these, because if I do, then I'm not rolling my money back over into more coins. Because I basically run an account that is my buy coin roll account, and I try to return what I can. So any of these that I think are too spotted, I think will end up being, they'll go back to the bank, I think. Because I think I'm going to, out of all these rolls, I think I'm going to pull enough flat out, just high BU, high MS grades that it's all I'm really going to need to keep. Right now I've pulled, I don't know, I got about eight coins left, and I've pulled about, I think I've pulled and set aside 3 of them that absolutely had no spots. Here, look, this looks like number 4. High MS grade. Yeah, if the obverse looks good on this one, it'll be a set aside. Yeah, this is a saver. No, I guess what I would call mint spots now. US mint spots. Let's see how this one looks. Spotty, but in high condition. You still hanging out, Investable? A little bit of spots there. So right now I've pulled 4 coins that are practically flawless. I'm going to have to look up on PCGS and see what a high grade Sacagawea in business strike goes for. No spots on that. Oh, you're still at work waiting for drivers to get back? A little bit more contact damage on that one than, and then spots on the obverse. So 3 left in this roll, and then I'm going to open some cards and some whatnot stuff. Doesn't look like we're going to end up with a... Every one of them, the Eagles, just flawless. If it wasn't for the spots, all of these would be savers. Which I'm kind of glad I'm only finding a handful of them. That are absolutely, in my opinion, flawless without spots. Because I would hate to have to save a ton of these through all the different, little bit of damage there, a little bit of damage there. But that's damage that, you know, some of these are just going to get coming off out of the dies, you know. But for the most part, for the most part, pretty impressive. These are the 4 I set aside that have no spots and no damage. And this was the kind of the middle of the tier. This was my middle of the tier road. Maybe a little bit of spotting, not much though. I think I set it aside in the middle of the tier because of that mark right there. Maybe there was a few spots, but like these didn't have a spot, and they didn't have anything that stood out as a attention catching damage. Like this might be gradable. We'll have to see. I'll have to make some decisions. The rest of them, you know, the spots take away from the eye appeal, in my opinion. I mean, they're condition-wise, these are uncirculated. And they came from that uncirculated mint roll. But the spots just seem to take away from the eye appeal for me. So, you know, I probably do a little less with the spotted ones. They probably end up going back to the bank. All right. So here I picked this up yesterday. Cheap, $250. They added a VF Plus 39S. I mean, obviously there's no steps on something like that, but... And I picked up this yesterday. I think this is my 3rd one of these. Maybe it's the 4th. Maybe it's the 4th one. I don't know. 99 Philly, the proof one that comes in the box and stuff. I gotta quit buying these. It's what I need to do, but I just like them, so got that. All right, let's do a whatnot opening. I don't know what's in this. Backwoods Collector. I don't know if I want a Gibby. I want a Gibby, or is this something I bought? I might have won a Gibby. Oh, no. Now I remember what it is. I better be careful with it. I better be careful with this. Holy smokes. Yeah, I think I'm completed already on the Susan B. Anthony. It's on having them all. It's just a matter of upgrading them. I have way too many Susan B. Anthony's. In fact, Investable, you should tell me what you're looking for, and I'll go through my collection. So this I had to get. I had to pick this up. So it's the Bridget Carlton, signed impeccable elegance, and it's numbered, but if you look, it is numbered 6 of 49, and that's jersey number. And this camera view usually doesn't work too well, but this card looks in, yeah, it might be a little, but not bad on that corner. Not bad on that corner. The nice thing is cards with white corners, they always seem to end up being able to look a little. I don't see any major flaws with this card though. And it's got a little design in the patch, which you would hope the Impeccable brand would have. So, but there's that. I've completely forgot what this was until I started opening it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been sitting on this package for a while. So there's that. And then this, I know what it is, because this I just bought not too long ago from Heart of Dixie Collectibles. I am a big fan of these cards. I'm a big fan of the set and the series and all of these cards. It's kind of a new chase for me, actually. And I think, I don't know, about 4 or 5 or... Oh, it looks like he threw some in here. So he did. He threw a William Wright. What did he throw? A George Pillman. Martin Van Buren. That's a Custard on an Ovalocity version. So that's pretty cool. So this is the actual set that I like the most, the Wild West edition. Because if anybody knows me, I'm into the revolvers and all the Wild West stuff. That's actually a cool card. But that ain't the ones I bought. So I bought 2 of these. I bought 2 Doc Hollidays and Big Nose Kate cards. You can see the relics are different in each card. I don't think these are numbered. But I bought 2 of those from him because I wanted those. And then I had to get this one. You gotta get a Billy the Kid card. I'm going to take it out of this because this is not a one touch. You had tape on the outside of that. This card's still in phenomenal shape too. But Billy the Kid. Is that numbered? No, that's not numbered. That's from the 2024 set. It's not even this year's set. But the original Billy the Kid famous photograph. And now, do I think these relics and all these cards are authentic? I don't know. I highly doubt it. But if you read this, it says, you know, that it's from somewhere in that, what does it say, time period, has something to do, you know, were attributed to the subject on the front of the card. I don't know. I will tell you they're expensive to get. And then had to get this one. This one's going to be on display in the office here somewhere. The Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Love, and Hickok. I don't think any of these were numbered, but this was a 2024 edition too. So this actually was not even out of a Wild West. I think the Wild West edition is actually from the 2025. This looks like it just came out of the 2024 1800s edition, which you could just get. You could get inventors and whatever. So had to pick those up for sure. because I am a fan of that era stuff and that type of BS there. Alright, let's... What do I got left to do before I call it a night? Oh yeah, Dark Ascension. Let's open some Magic. Although I want to... I want to go to Scryfall. Because I don't know what we're looking for in Dark Ascension. So I gotta get Scryfall up. All sets. Let's go down to, what did I say, 2012 was when this set released. Let's see, I'm finally in 2012. Where in 2012 did Dark Ascension release? February of 2012 is when Dark Ascension released. So we're going to do that. We're going to sort the set by US dollar. And so it looks like the most expensive card in the set is Machias the Unhallowed. Not expensive, $30 card. So we don't have a whole lot to hit other than maybe some art that we like. Maybe we'll hit a card that's... Vestibule says, find an angel. Well, you can tell these packs were from 2012 too. They did not rip like they normally rip. Alright. Crushing Vines on a common. Ed Wall Ripper. Cool art. I do like that art. It's a vampire. That might be a vampire card I've never collected, even though I've chased vampires from the start. Stormbound Geist on a common. Silver Claw Griffin. Cool art in the graveyard. Spiteful Shadows. This was the set when you started playing Investable? A Highborn Ghoul. That art I like. I might have bought this card as a single at some point just because I like the card. And another common, Talons of Falconwrath. Yeah, this set has the theme I like too, Gather the Townsfolk. Falconwrath Torturer. His first uncommon is Warden of the Wall. And then Faith's Shield. I have on my screen the top 8 cards right now. They're all rares or mythics. Let's see if I move it up to the top. 12 cards. They're still all rares or mythics. And, this should be another uncommon Secrets of the Dead. Here's a rare. Increasing Savagery. That is cool art. Look at the through the window. Not one of the top 12 cards in the set. And then oh, this was a set that had these cards in it. I forget about that. And then a common Loyal Cathar day-night card. Was this the first set that did the day-night mechanic and then they brought it back in Midnight Hunt? So probably no high dollar card there. But definitely some, for me, definitely some collectible art. Let's do the other. I only picked up 2 of these. I might have to go back and get some more if they still got it. There's really no high dollar chase in this set anymore. Look at that. First card is exactly the same, isn't it? Didn't I pull Crushing Vines on the open? Yeah. So hopefully it's not too track printed. Skillful Lunge. I did not pull that one at all, so shouldn't be too track printed. Torch Fiend. Cool art. Grave Purge. I mean, almost all the cards in sets like this and these farther back sets, I think, have cool art. You know, I'm just sick of Universes Beyond stuff, and I think they should stay in the Magic universe. Sea Kite, Evolving Wilds, Talons of Falconreth. That's a double hit out of the 2 packs. Reap the Seagraph. Cool art. Midnight Guard. Is this the first This is the first uncommon. Gravetiller Worm. Chill of Foreboding. Uncommon Blood Feud. Cool art there. And the rare is Thalia, Guardian of Thrabian. She's not one of the top 12. And the insert card and this card, and then we are going to end up with a common on the back, Scorned Villager. You must get the day-night mechanic card in every pack at the back. So there's that one. So 2 packs of, what was it? Dark Ascension. I'm going to have to buy some more of those, I think. Most definitely. Alright, I don't think I got anything left to open. Do I have anything left to open, or am I done for the night? I think I'm done for the night. I don't know if you're still hanging out, Investable, but thanks for hanging out. We're definitely going to go through another roll of those mint uncirculated Sacagaweas at some point, so that may happen this weekend yet at some point. So if you're still in here, Investable, thanks for hanging out. I think you were the only one that popped in for the evening, which is fine with me. I always enjoy having somebody in to chit-chat with as I'm coin roll hunting. I will, I don't know if you're still in here, but if you are, I will talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you're looking for in Susan B. Anthony's. I may be able to hook you up.